time, we ask you to please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, if so desired, please join me in the singing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We're going to skate to one song only.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the DeVos Fieldhouse here on the campus of Hope College for game number 2 of the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic. Tonight's featured teams are the Golden Eagles of Cornerstone University and your Hope College Flying Dutchmen. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First for Cornerstone at 1 forward, a 6'5" senior from Lapeer, number 1, Drew Knickerbocker. And at 1 forward for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'4" junior from Okemos, number 24, Evan Thomas. At 1 forward for Cornerstone, a 6'8" senior from Wayland, number 15, Carter Knipe. And at 1 forward for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'6" senior from Hawthorne Hills, Illinois, number 32, Jeff Bikus. Starting at center for Cornerstone, a 6'9" junior from Wayland, number 30, Corey Ainsworth. And at center for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'7" sophomore from Holland, number 5, Tanner Wiggerink. At 1 guard for Cornerstone, a 6'3" senior from Westmont, Illinois, number 0, Johnny Struby. And at 1 guard for the Flying Dutchman, a 5'11" junior from Zeeland, number 1, Clayton Dykehouse. And at the final guard spot for Cornerstone, a 5'9" senior from Grand Rapids, number 3, Christian Rodriguez. And at the final guard spot for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'1" senior from Ada, number 14, Ty George. Cornerstone University is coached by Kim Elders. Hope College is coached by Greg Mitchell. Your officials this evening, Dustin Crawford, Mike Hillary, and Paul Durkee.
Good evening and welcome to DeVos Fieldhouse for the Hope College season home opener here for the 2021-2022 season at one of the most unique and historic events in Grand Rapids basketball year in and year out. We're here at the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Basketball Classic. This year it's hosted by Hope, the 24th annual. We just saw Calvin University take down Aquinas in game number 1, and game number 2 pits Hope against an NAIA power, Cornerstone. These two teams last met in 2019. Should be a really good one here as we go. Tips won by Hope's point guard Clayton Dykehouse, and as we preview this Hope College team, they come in with a 2-1 record. Hope have to talk about the three-headed monster of Clayton Dykehouse, Evan Thomas, and Ty George. Speaking of, Clayton Dykehouse leads off the game with a top-of-the-key 3. This Cornerstone team going to be a tough test tonight for the Flying Dutchman. They come in at 8-2, ranked number 25 in the country in NAIA basketball. Bikus with a nice steal there on the wing. He gets it to Dykhouse. Dykhouse runs the show for the Dutchman. Plays point guard a majority of the time. Dykhouse fires another wing three. That one's good as well. Catching fire early is Clayton Dykhouse, the junior from Zeeland. Dykhouse has had a breakout season this year in his junior campaign, averaging 14 points a game. He's guarding Christian Rodriguez heavily. Rodriguez, a player that we have to touch on here in the next few minutes. Drew Knickerbocker fires a wing three, and that one's off. Rebounded by Jeff Bickus. He hits Ty George as he brings it up the wing. George going against Johnny Struby. That one's off. As Rodriguez is going to calm things down here for the Golden Eagles. Rodriguez and Dykhouse is going to be a nice matchup to watch all evening. Struby takes it in and hits Ainsworth. Corey Ainsworth with a nice turnaround left hook there. The junior from Wayland. 6-2 ball game here. Fast moving first 2 minutes. Bickus hands to George. George stops 15 feet. Gets it out to Thomas, top of the key. Thomas, another player having a breakout junior campaign, averaging 15 points a game this year for the Flying Dutchman. Some nice defensive work there by Drew Knickerbocker. Thomas gets his own board, clears it out to Ty. Thomas to Bickus, high post. Vigorink gave it a go. That one falls off, rebounded by Ainsworth. And Rodriguez leads the way for the Eagles. Carter Knipe. Off the heel, he went from about a foot behind the arc there. Knipe can do that. Dykhouse probing, steps outside. Dykhouse ultra aggressive here in the first 2 minutes. Taking a closer look at this Cornerstone team, you have to start with Christian Rodriguez. Christian Rodriguez, fifth-year senior out of Godwin Heights in the Grand Rapids area. Recently broke the Cornerstone all-time assist record. 582 assists for Christian Rodriguez, the fifth-year senior. And he is having an excellent season right now for the Eagles. Tanner Wiegerink. Three ball on the left wing. Fast start here from Hope. Hope struggled early offensively in each of their first 3 games. Not the case here against Cornerstone. Knipe takes it with the left hand, swings to Rodriguez, swings to Knickerbocker. Struby in the corner. That'll be off. And here goes Hope. Dykhouse not going to waste any time. Swings to George in the corner, over to Bickus. This is a Hope team that loves to keep the pace up. Last 2 games, they moved to more of a motion offense. The ball's been popping around for each of those 3 games. Bickus, nice move there. Not able to connect, and here comes Rodriguez. Rodriguez leaves it for Knipe. And Knipe short on that 3 ball. Well, you can see it's pretty obvious through these first 4 minutes, both these teams want to get up and down and run like crazy. Cornerstone not afraid to take early threes on the break, nor is Hope. We've seen Dykhouse firing early. Some substitutions here. Number 20, Jack Joldersma, in for the Golden Eagles. How about Dykhouse with a little bit of energy over there, forcing the turnover for Hope. That Hope bench up and active here early, 9-2. Great start for this Flying Dutchman team. The key now for them will be to keep their foot on the gas. Bickus catches short corner, stops and pops. That's usually a good look for him. Off that time. Rodriguez probing the defense. And Thomas able to come down with it. He is looking to push. We're going back and forth fast and furious first few minutes here. Noah Hedrick catches left wing and leaves it for Josh Lilja. Lilja, nice spin move, unable to finish. And here comes Rodriguez. Blistering pace so far. Rodriguez guarded by Hedrick. Looks like Cornerstone's going to try to get into a little bit of motion offense here. Try to calm things down for the Eagles. Trent Summerfield up top of the key. And that's going to be another turnover for Cornerstone. You have to credit Hope's defensive activity here so far. That's been one of the highlights of their season for their first 3 games, coming in 2-1 on the season. And Hope's defensive activity and energy has been something to watch. Much improved from years past, rebounding and defensive energy. Noah Hedrick catches on the left wing. Here comes Thomas throwing it away. A little bit of sloppy play here from both these squads so far. I think one thing to watch is going to be throughout the season for Hope, who steps up to fill Preston Granger's absence from last year. Preston Granger, a all-MIAA player multiple times in the front court for the Flying Dutchman. There's some good candidates here on this Hope team, Jeff Bikus being one of them in that 4-man spot, and also sophomore Tanner Wiegerink, who we've seen here early. Dykehouse pushing the pace. Nice cut there by Josh Lilja, unable to finish. Hope's had a few good looks down there, just have been unable to convert. And here comes Christian Rodriguez. Tough offensive start for this Cornerstone team here. Dykehouse with a back tap on Rodriguez. Hedrick kicks it up to Dykehouse. Unable to finish once again. Cornerstone's going to head the other way. Knocked away by Lilja. Lilja's leading the break. Unable to convert, hits Bikus. Bikus gonna trigger a 3 there on the right wing. And this game's been a track meet so far. Rollinson, the freshman. Gonna be a little bit of a bump there by Lilja. Rollinson, only a freshman, Huron, Ohio product. How about this? 0 fouls so far called. That would be the first one. We're 6 minutes in. Seems like there's rarely been a whistle. I'm not sure if I've ever witnessed a faster 6 minutes here at DeVos Fieldhouse. A couple of substitutions coming in here for Hope. We got number 22, Sam Versteg, freshman out of Grand Rapids Christian. He's had some good contributions here so far in the early season. 14, Ty George checks in as well. Summerfield swings it over to Rollinson. Now Knipe trying to get an isolation on Bikus in the post. Poked away by Bikus. Hedrick's leading the break. Puts it up and rolls off there for Noah Hedrick. How about Hope's defensive activity so far? Active hands. We've seen a poke away by Dykehouse, poke away by Bikus there. This is a Cornerstone team that scores 82 points per game. We're here 6.5 minutes in, and they have 2. Cornerstone's had a pretty exceptional season this year, 8-2 coming in. Noah Hedrick knocks that one in. Hedrick's been a nice contributor this season, playing about 18 minutes a game, averaging 6 points. Pretty active on the boards as well with 3 rebounds a game. Cornerstone's led by head coach Kim Elders. His 29th season, how about that? Hard to believe. 710 and 260 is his overall record, including 3 national championships. Summerfield swings over to Wolcock. Summerfield up top. Forest Hills Northern product, local kid. That's going to be a foul on Hedrick. Looks like it's going to be just a hand check there. One of the things that makes this whole event really interesting and really fun is just the crowd that we get out at these games. It's all 4 of the small college programs here in West Michigan, a lot of local products, and anyone that's just, into basketball in West Michigan tends to turn out to these. Summerfield fires from the left wing, and that's good. Trent Summerfield, the junior from Forest Hills Northern, averages 6.5 points per game. He's a sharpshooter from the 3. Not a guy that you want to allow to get much space here in the early going. George in there to Evan Thomas. They like him in this spot, getting a little bit of isolation, let him go one-on-one. How about that fall away jumper? That's what made Evan Thomas such a highly coveted recruit coming out of high school, Okemos High School here near Lansing, Michigan. And he's having a breakout junior campaign, averaging 15 points per game. Gets his first bucket tonight. Noah Hedrick forces another turnover, and here comes Sam Versteg. Thomas and George run on the left side. Thomas might go to work here again. Thomas working a two-man game there with Devin Cheney. Over to Noah Hedrick, deep three. Yeah, Hedrick, not a shy shooter so far in his career with Hope. Played mostly JV minutes last year, and then this year getting a big-time opportunity. Loves to explore how far out his range can technically go. Here comes Summerfield bringing it up for Cornerstone. Interesting to see them without Christian Rodriguez in there. They look a little bit different. Wilcock, top of the key. Swings it over to Joldersma. Joldersma, Hudsonville, Michigan product. Summerfield baseline. Out there to Wilcock. Unable to connect. Ball's pinballing around down there. Attempted save by Toby Wilcock, and it'll go the other way. Clayton Dykehouse going to return for Hope. 12-5 score here. Compared to game number one, if anyone tuned in for Aquinas and Calvin, what a high-scoring affair that was. This one a little bit slow-moving here in the first 10 minutes. Hope going to go with a little ball screen handoff action. Dykehouse working on Summerfield, top of the key. Quick whistle over there on the far side. Looks like they're going to get Summerfield with a hand check.
Number 10, Trent Summerfield. That is his second.
Tanner Wiegerink going to enter for Hope. He gives Evan Thomas a break. Christian Rodriguez going to check back in. He gives Summerfield a breather. Going back to Christian Rodriguez, usually a guy in his first few years here at Hope, here at Cornerstone, that was more of an assist man. This year, averaging 23 points per game for the Eagles. Wiegerink working on Carter Knipe, able to find a seam there, unable to get it to go, but draws the foul on the Cornerstone big man.
Cornerstone foul number 15,
Carter Knipe has had a pretty superb career for the Cornerstone Eagles. 6'8" senior out of Wayland. Averaging 15 and 7 this year, but just the kind of player that Cornerstone's been able to recruit over the last 5 to 10 years that is tough to match up with. 6'8", basically plays a 3 or a 4 spot on this team. Can shoot it from outside, can go to the boards, can post up back to the basket. He's a tough cover for this Hope team. 14-5 Hope lead. Got to feel good about this start if you're a Hope College fan. Team that's sometimes struggled to get going offensively here in the early season. Noah Hedrick battling Luke Rowlandson. Looks like he took one too many steps there on the baseline. Noah Hedrick is going to check out here, and it's pretty obvious that Noah Hedrick has been the straw that has stirred the drink so far for Hope defensively. Clayton Dykehouse has been a stud offensively here so far, but Noah Hedrick, multiple deflections, playing physical down low. He's been a bright spot so far for Hope. Devin Cheney posting up at the top of the key. Going with a little bit of a handoff game here for Hope. Lilja. Outside to Dykehouse. Ooh, Dykehouse, nifty dribbling there. Out to Devin Cheney. Shot clock running down. And a shot clock left-hand scoop. Unable to connect. Tanner Wiegerink up and in. And one. Tanner Wiegerink. Rebounding has stood out so far this season for Hope. Offensive and defensive rebounding. Tanner Wiegerink, guy that played mostly JV minutes last year, the West Ottawa High School product right here in Holland, Michigan. And he's been really active on the board so far this year. And this game as well, a little offensive rebound there. Goes up strong with the putback for an and one, giving Hope a 16-5 lead. Wiegerink with an early 7 points here for Hope. Taking a look at his season numbers. Averages about 6 boards on the year. And interestingly enough, more offensive rebounds this year for Tanner than defensive rebounds. It's going to be a Cornerstone timeout. Palpable energy here on the Hope side, on the Hope bench. could not have asked for a better start here if you're a Hope College fan. You're facing an 8-2 Cornerstone team that is quite frankly extremely veteran, extremely experienced, and currently ranked in the top 25 in the NCAA. They're averaging 82 points a game, and Hope has held them to 5 so far here through the first 10 minutes. Cornerstone taking a look at their schedule here coming up. They'll face off against Calvin tomorrow night. Calvin is a team that is currently 3-1 and won convincingly over Aquinas here just an hour or so ago. Cornerstone, team that likes to get some early season momentum, and they've competed for national championships at the NAIA level over the last 30 years of Kim Elder's tenure there. Their last national championship coming in 2015. Again, Kim Elders, a legend and a fixture in the West Michigan coaching scene in his 29th season with 710 wins for the Cornerstone Eagles. Taking a look at the scoring stats here so far, Hope led by Tanner Wiegerink, 8 points. How about the sophomore coming up big so far? And then Clayton Dykehouse with those two early 3 balls. He's sitting at 6 points. For Cornerstone, they've struggled to get going so far. Corey Ainsworth, the big junior, has 2 points for the Eagles. Corey Ainsworth, the guy that Hope's going to have to deal with here. A little bit of a backstory. These two teams played about 2 months ago in the Fall League hosted by Aquinas College, and Corey Ainsworth had probably 30 to 35 points in that ball game. So I know he's a focal point of this Hope defense so far. Nice defensive trip there by Clayton Dykehouse, and he's emotional. He's the kind of that guy that provides a spark for this Hope team. Wears his emotions on his sleeve a little bit, and plays just plays hard. Never quite stops. Forces a turnover there on Rodriguez, the 5th-year guard from Cornerstone. Nice back cut there from Lilja. Dykehouse is feeling confident right now. He usually does. I've been watching Hope basketball for the whole 3 years that Clayton Dykehouse has been on the team, and I don't know if I've ever seen him post up like that. He went to post up Christian Rodriguez there. Bike is asking for it hard. They'll give it to him there in the short corner. Wiegerink up top. Yeah, that'll be a moving screen there. Bikas gave the handoff to George and then just didn't quite set his feet. We'll go the other way. The story of this game has been Hope's defense. Hope shifting a little bit here into a 2-2-1 full court zone press. Knipe, who's able to handle it, going against Wiegerink here on the wing. Knickerbocker driving on Ty George. Ball was loose down there a little bit, and then Knickerbocker was able to recover it and put it in for 2, and the foul. That foul will be assessed to 14, Ty George. Interesting play there, is just kind of pinballing around there in the paint, and Knickerbocker able to corral it and put it up for 2. He'll go to the line for a chance at a 3-point play. Knickerbocker, one of those glue guys for this Cornerstone team, averaging 7.5 points a game and 4 rebounds a game, does a little bit of everything for them. 6'5" senior from Lapeer, Michigan. Bikas handoff to Dykehouse. That ball is fumbled by George. Ty George with a deep 3. That one will go. Interesting play there. Ty fumbled it. Was able to corral that one, and then probably 3 to 4 feet behind the long line connects. 20-7 Hope. Chased down by Corey Ainsworth. He hits Rodriguez. Struby with a nice pump fake there, sends Ty George flying. Knickerbocker again with the follow-up. He's been big so far in the paint for the Eagles. Dykehouse drives with the left. Very little hesitation there from Clayton. He picks up full court on Rodriguez. Man, Dykehouse been pestering Rodriguez all night. Tough to deal with on the defensive end is this Hope team right now. Struby for 3. Nice box out there by Jeff Bicus, making some good contact on Carter Knipe. Bicus going to take it down. In and out for Bicus. Cornerstone will head the other way. Knickerbocker. Kickball there on Jeff Bicus. Joldersma is going to check in for Carter Knipe. Now you may look at the score and say, oh man, Hope offensively playing well here so far, but the story has undoubtedly been Hope's defense. Noah Hedrick, Clayton Dykehouse, making it really tough on these Cornerstone guards to really initiate anything on the offensive end. And then some strong rebounding from guys like Tanner Wiegerink, Thomas, Jeff Bicus, and others. Hope's defense has really led the way for them so far. Hedrick gonna have the tough task of guarding Rodriguez, and that's what makes Rodriguez so difficult right there. Just puts his head down, puts his shoulder into it with the left hand, gets it up on the glass. Hope's gonna initiate the offense. Gonna try to have a nice motion trip here. Get a few different guys a touch. Bicus, top of the key. Not gonna fall. Then Hope battling on the boards. Multiple offensive rebounds there that time for this Hope team. Jackson Halbert is in the game. Sophomore from Holland Christian. It's guys like Halbert and Wiegerink that Hope will turn to try to fill that future void left by Preston Granger. They're interesting styles of players, 6'7", 6'8", and can really shoot the 3. That's kind of what they prefer to do, both of them. Bicus steps out for 3, unable to connect. Rodriguez again trying that left hand, and Hedrick, who's pretty athletic for a guard, swats that one on the baseline. Taking a look at the live stats here, the turnover battle is one to keep an eye on. Cornerstone 10 turnovers so far. This is a veteran team with veteran guards, probably not what they are accustomed to or what they hoped for so far in this first half. Corey Ainsworth, experienced junior, going against the sophomore. Puts his shoulder right into him and gets that one to fall. Evan Thomas, zero hesitation there. Little jump stop, puts it up with the left hand. Back and forth we go. Rodriguez said very little space to operate so far tonight. Steps back for 3. That one's off. Thomas wasn't able to bring it down. Cornerstone right now, 1 for 10 from three-point land. Most of those have been contested. Tough to get much offensive momentum going when you have a hand on your face for most of these shots. Pretty obvious that Hope is making Christian Rodriguez a focal point here defensively, switching Evan Thomas onto him, just trying to give him different looks. Bounce pass there from Joldersma. He had Ainsworth. That was going to be a dunk, but that's turnover number 11 for this Cornerstone team. Hope will run Evan Thomas at some point guard here, something that they have toyed with so far this year. A little bit of Thomas, a little bit of Dykehouse here at that point guard spot. Thomas, right side, going to face up, going on Joldersma. Spin move and able to get to his spot. Heads up strong with 2 hands. Evan Thomas, really versatile player for Hope. Came in highly touted as a freshman, has played well his first 2 years, has been really, really consistent this year, hoping to make a little bit of a jump. That's what the Hope coaches like about him, the fact that he can play a little bit inside, a little bit outside. They love to post him up against smaller guards. Was able to get an advantage there against Joldersma and then head up with 2 hands, get fouled. Wiegerink going to come in for Jeff Bicus. Wiegerink's been impressive so far today. Couple of rebounds, 8 points. Hit an early 3-pointer that sparked a Hope offensive run. Thomas offers the second one, and that one is true as well. 24-13, 11-point lead for the Flying Dutchman. Knickerbocker going to play a little bit of point guard here. Try to move Rodriguez off the ball. Getting a little bit of space to operate. Joldersma goes baseline. Hope bench wanted to travel. Rodriguez just probing that defense, trying to get to 15 feet. Pretty animated over there on the sideline is Hope head coach Greg Mitchell. Rodriguez loves that move. Call it a little bit of a snake move where, you know, you take a little jump step into the paint there and then just sit there and see how the defense reacts. He loves to just get into the paint and create opportunities for those around him. Wiegerink with a tip. Hedrick attempted the charge take. No call there. That'll be a dunk there by Jack Joldersma. Jack Joldersma, pretty athletic looking sophomore out of Hudsonville, 6'4". Ty George for three. That one is just off. Fighting for the board was Evan Thomas and Joldersma. They'll say that one's off Cornerstone, off Joldersma. Dykehouse going to check back in for Overway. For Halbert, excuse me. Hope can go baseline out of bounds. Big key here for these next 5 minutes is just to keep the defensive pressure up for this Hope team. Cornerstone's going to want to try to get something going on offense. Swing over to Noah Hedrick. Hedrick with the strong take. Twigs. Tanner Wiegerink unable to put that one in. Hedrick picking up the ball handler, Joldersma. Dykehouse got beat there, backdoor. Rodriguez, they've moved Rodriguez off the point here in an attempt to get him a little bit of more offensive space, and that'll be a Hope College timeout. Hope leads by 7 here with 5:12 to play in their opener in the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Basketball Classic. That'll be a 30-second timeout, and we'll keep it here for this timeout. Want to give a quick shout out to any member of the Zanstra family that is listening tonight. Matt's parents and brother actually in attendance for this one. Just talked to them a few minutes ago. They're here in the building. Matt Zanstra, for those who may not know, has been honored a few different times by this Hope team in the early season. 2020 graduate who tragically passed away in a car accident about a month and a half ago. Close personal friend of mine and close friend of many of the Hope College programs. So thoughts and prayers are out to Matt's family as always. It was great to see his parents in the building tonight. 5 minutes remaining. Here comes Dykehouse along with Hedrick, Thomas, Wiegerink, and Ty George. George over to Wiegerink. Wiegerink with a nice baseline jumper. How about Tanner Wiegerink? Have yourself a night, young man. 10 points for the sophomore out of Holland. Rodriguez trying to work against Dykehouse. Steal by Wiegerink. He'll go on the break here. Try to throw one. Attempted dunk by Wiegerink. Joldersma contested. That one didn't fall. Nice hustle there by Jack Joldersma. Rodriguez working on Hedrick. Three-point try there by Struby. Wow. Tough call there for both squads. Both benches pretty animated there. It looks like they're going to call a foul on Thomas. Potentially a little bit of contact, but that's what the officials went with. Hey, this game has been physical from start to finish. Both teams wanted to close out the half with a lot of energy. Nice tip there by Ty George to Hedrick. Hedrick surveying. Swings over to Thomas to Dykehouse. Dykehouse goes baseline on Rodriguez. Touch foul there. Rodriguez was trying to cut Dykehouse off on the baseline. Looks like Dykehouse is going to go to the line here for a 1-and-1 as Hope is in the bonus. Jeff Bike is going to check in for Tanner Wiegerink, who's been a difference maker so far for Hope. briefly mentioned how many local players there are in this tournament, and the list is long. For example, Cornerstone has Rodriguez from Godwin Heights, Eli Steffen from Zeeland East, Summerfield from Forest Hills Northern, Carter Knipe from Wayland, Corey Ainsworth from Wayland. A whole lot of West Michigan talent for the Eagles. And then for the Flying Dutchman, Clayton Dykehouse out of Zeeland, Wegerink from West Ottawa, Ty George from Forest Hills Central. For Stagg from GR Christian, and Halbert from Holland Christian, Gabe Quillen as well from Grand Rapids Catholic Central. Really cool to see so many West Michigan high school players that ended up playing here at the Division III and NAIA level. Bicus working hard on Corey Ainsworth. Ainsworth was trying to post there at about 8 feet. Going to be the second foul on Bicus. See if Coach Mitchell makes a substitution here. He will. It's going to be number 40, Devin Cheney. Next foul on Hope will put Cornerstone in the 1-and-1. Summerfield inbounds to Ainsworth. Summerfield always looking for a shot. Ainsworth, that one's going to be a walk there. Ainsworth has been frustrated early by this Hope team. He has 4 points. Does have 8 rebounds, but that'll be a travel there, and that'll be turnover number 14 for Cornerstone. Something that Coach Kim Elders can't be happy with here in the first half so far. Ty George over there feeds to Thomas. Thomas gonna go one-on-one ISO. Looks like he might have gotten away with a walk as well. Shot blocked there by Corey Ainsworth as Devin Cheney tried to go up strong with 2. 3.5 minutes left here. Hope with a 10-point lead over Cornerstone. Yeah, this game has been fast and physical from start to finish. A little bit of a mismatch here with Summerfield guarded by Devin Cheney, and Summerfield fires and hits. Dykehouse wasting no time. Heading over to the other end here. Thomas looks for Ty George. Ty George, acrobatic, athletic finish there with the right hand. Took a little bit of contact on Ainsworth and finishes with the right. 29-20. Good pressure there by Dykehouse. Gonna have an away from the ball foul on 40, Devin Cheney. Now, I'd be lying if I said the physicality of this game hasn't turned up in the last 5 minutes or so. Both these teams trying to scrap and claw their way to halftime, trying to end on a positive. Foul count has turned up considerably. We were at 1 foul total through the first 8 minutes, and sitting at 14 now. Ainsworth ahead to the line. Ainsworth unable to connect there. Saved by Josh Lilja. Here comes Evan Thomas. Evan Thomas strong with the left hand. Little mini step back there. Doesn't finish. We'll have a whistle on the other end on Ainsworth. That Ainsworth-Devin Cheney matchup has produced 2 fouls here in the last 20 seconds or so.
Cornerstone foul number 30, Corey Ainsworth.
That's 2 on Ainsworth. Checking in for Cornerstone, another local kid, number 21, Connor Dykema, the freshman from South Christian High. Devin Cheney, another one of those players that Hope has tried to rely on here to fill in the front court. Awkward sequence there. It seemed like neither team realized that it was a 1-on-1. Cheney stepped over the line pretty obviously there. Trent Summerfield working on Lilja. That'll be a hand check. Trent Summerfield talked about a great high school career. This is a guy that out of Forest Hills Northern gave West Michigan fits for 2 or 3 years in a great program there for the Huskies. Excellent 3-point shooter, but then really developed his game into being a great ball handler and defender as well. So had some great battles with Trent Summerfield and Tyler George back in the day in the OK White, as they were both high schoolers at the same time. Cuts the Hope lead to 8. For Cornerstone, you have to feel good about where you are here if you were able to, in the last 2.5 minutes, chip away at this lead, perhaps cut it to 5 or 4. Dykehouse, Hope's got to be looking for a quality offensive possession here. George, a little bit of space. Over to Lilja, back over to George, to Thomas. Thomas stops, pops, connects. Hey, he's pretty much automatic when you get him to 15 feet, and he's able to rise up. A 6'4" junior. His 8th point on the ball game. Summerfield working on George. Lack of communication there by the Dutchman, and Summerfield makes him pay. Summerfield, 10th point. Wegerink out to Evan Thomas. He's off. 31-24 Hope. Dangerous spot here for these last minute and a half for the Dutchman. As Cornerstone's clawing back. Rollinson working on Ty George. That one's up and just off. Here comes Evan Thomas down strong with the rebound. He drives middle. Finds himself a little bit of space out to Lilja. Ty George, one dribble, knocks it down for 3. Ty George, another one of those guys that you don't want to get going here if you're Cornerstone. Guy that really shoots it well from the 3. One of the top 3-point shooters in the MIAA. Less than a minute left here. Summerfield working on George. How about that nice Forest Hills matchup here between the two of them. 3 Hope players immediately hit the floor. That'll be a jump ball. Head back to Cornerstone. Hope pretty offensively balanced here so far tonight. Wegerink with 10, George with 8, Thomas with 8, Dykehouse with 7. Started the broadcast by talking about that 3-headed monster at the guard spot between George, Thomas, and Dykehouse. They've played well tonight. Pretty composed against these experienced Cornerstone guards. Noah Hedrick switching him onto Summerfield. Give Summerfield a look at Hedrick. Summerfield under control with the right hand. He's come to play today, Trent Summerfield has. 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Looks like Hope will probably hold till the end of the shot clock here. Summerfield, only Cornerstone player on the court right now that has scored. 12 points for him. Hope setting up their set play. Dykehouse hanging and gets hit. Nice little jump stop there by Clayton Dykehouse, able to pivot. Gets hit. He'll go to the line for 2. That foul is on Trent Summerfield, and that's 3 on him. Something to probably keep an eye on here in the second half. We'll see if Hope can extend the lead to 10 points as Dykehouse heads to the free throw line. Funny moment here with Summerfield and George straight in front of the scores table. A little bit of laughing and joking. 2 guys that went at it year after year in high school. Jackson Halbert checks in, gives Ty George a break. 10 seconds left here in half number 1, a half that's been back and forth. Really entertaining if you tuned in here on this Friday night. Summerfield's going to go to work here against Hedrick. We'll see if Hope sends another player. Oh, nice steal there by Hedrick. He's unable to collect it, and Summerfield with the one-handed throw knocks it in. That's the kind of defensive possession that hurts so bad if you're Hope. You play great defense for 7 seconds, then Summerfield, he's just feeling it. 15 first half points for Trent Summerfield. Really came to play today. He throws that one in. 1 half gone here from DeVos Fieldhouse here in Holland, Michigan. Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Basketball Classic. Hope leads 35-29. We'll be back in about 15 minutes.
It's no secret. The best way to learn about Hope College is to spend time on our campus. The Hope admissions team invites you to a personalized visit experience you won't forget. Located in downtown Holland, Michigan, our historic campus is close to shopping and dining and just 10 minutes from Lake Michigan. We invite you to check out our campus tour options or sign up for an online tour with the Hope admissions office. There's never been a better time to see Hope College. Visit us at hope.edu/admissions.
Lawrence and Vanderswart, we're interested in the history of our community. When 26-year-old jeweler Jacob Raven came to Holland in 1889, the northwest corner of 8th Street and River Avenue was already home to the thriving Holland City State Bank. Raven told bank personnel that he wanted to build a clock above the bank to keep the town on time, and it wouldn't cost them a cent. True to his word, Raven raised the funds with donations from merchants and local factories. High above the city streets, the tower was completed in 1892. Holland's clock tower still ticks high above 8th Street, watching over a town that still loves to run on time. Innovation and ambition today can pay dividends for decades. Lawrence and Vanderswaard, interested in our history, invested in our future.
Hi Hope College! October 4th is a very special day where the entire Children's Miracle Network comes together to celebrate Child Health Day. Child Health Day is all about joining the Dance Marathon movement, raising funds for Children's Hospital, and sharing the message that kids can't wait. To start celebrating Child Health Day, we want to introduce you to one of our Miracle families. This is Amy and Mia Berarducci.
My name's Amy Berarducci, and I'm Mia's mom.
Hi, my name is Mia Berarducci. I've been doing Dance Marathon for 8 years.
16 years ago, this past September, Mia had some issues, had trouble walking, and she struggled with some eyesight things and very shaky. So we took her to our doctor, and they immediately sent us up to DeVos, and we spent many days there, and they treated her so well. They were so helpful. We just felt very at peace with what was going on in the midst of traumatic times. So throughout the next basically 8 years of her life, she had spent many appointments there at different times, and I can't say one time that was not super uplifting and very encouraging from them and from everybody that was custodian to the top doctors. They were awesome. They just have a great way about them, and we're so thankful. And because of that and all this care that we received, Mia is doing phenomenal today. She's 17 years old and thrives and still considers it DeVos her hospital when she goes home.
Students should sign up for Dance Marathon because they get to hang out with kids like me.
Spread the word because we want to make this the biggest marathon yet. So make sure to register on October 4th. Change kids' health
And change the future.
Kids can't wait!
My name is Lee Kang. I'm the 2019 Borgeson Residence Artist in Hope College for this summer. I think it's very good time being here, like only focusing on my art practice, because now I'm teaching art and then I'm always like spending time as a student. So like I don't feel like I have enough time to think about my work like during the semester, like or like like when I'm not in like like in residency. But being here, like been a while to think about my work. So it's very great for me to think about like just focusing on what I'm doing, who am I as an artist, you know? The reason why I applied this residency is it's very supportive, firstly, because I can get this whole studio only for myself, as well as housing and then even a little bit of stipend. So that's very important for being an artist, you know, thinking about my art, but then maybe a supportive cultures, a background, and then I can just only focus on art. You know, I think that's very important. For this show, it's been challenging for me to also figuring out the space, because the gallery space is kind of unique. And then I've been using the space that having a entire view of the imagery, you know, and then sculpture, video, you know, every kind of medium that I'm using to show what I'm trying to speak.
Intentionally never had minimum account sizes. Our philosophy has always been, if you're willing to put in the work and we'll collaborate and we set the plan in place and you're willing to go along with this plan and to put forth effort to this plan, we're happy to work with you. It's what we love to do. And so we have people coming in from the very starting point all the way to, you know, to the wealthy people. It's all different scenarios. Financial planning is not just for the wealthy.
In Vanderswart, we are interested in the history of our community. This farm once belonged to Albertus Van Raalte, founding father of the city of Holland. And this house, built by his son Ben in 1872, has been known through the years as the Maples, due to the large trees in the front yard planted by Van Raalte himself. These trees stand today because of the industry and vision of Albertus Van Raalte. Today, the De Graaf Nature Center taps the maples and demonstrates how maple syrup was made centuries ago. Innovation and ambition today can pay dividends for decades. Lawrence and Vanderswart, interested in our history, invested in our
The idea of using wastewater as a way to monitor for viruses has been around for a long time. And the application of it to SARS-CoV-2 or COVID-19 is what is different this time. One of the goals that we had was to be able to have a safe semester for everybody, be able to stay on campus as long as possible, given unknowns. We wanted the information that we were going to get to be actionable. That is, you could actually take that information and turn it into decisions. And those decisions were about how do we test students on campus for the coronavirus, and could we use wastewater to help us target that kind of testing? So in order to do that, you need a couple of things. One, you need a process that is simple. You need a process that is robust to supply chain issues, because a lot of the reagents and chemicals and things like that that are required to detect the virus have been in short supply. You also needed to be able to have a quick turnaround, so it needed to be able to be done same day results if possible. And so we sourced all of that material. One of the primary things that we had to source were samplers or auto samplers to be able to actually collect samples around campus. And then other equipment that we needed to use just to streamline processes. Hope has a strong tradition of research and research with undergraduates. Leads the country for decades in this area. And so that really set us up to be able to make this pivot, to be able to do something like this. And so a lot of the equipment was already around. And we leveraged expertise, and we leveraged process, and we leveraged equipment that we had. We needed to have people. So the first thing is to have personnel around that could, in fact, process samples on a daily basis. It's not a part-time job; it's a full-time job. So we're able to tap into some great students that had been in research programs and were basically trained right off the bat to be able to do this. So we hired 4 post-baccalaureate positions, so students that graduated last May. So the information that we're able to get daily on the wastewater levels for SARS-CoV-2 allows us to translate that into action, right? So we can take that information to the testing team that's on campus, that's in charge of directing the resources that we have for testing students. And we can take that information and tell them what's going on. We can make a recommendation. Oh, we should test zone 4 because we're seeing a rise in the level that we hadn't seen before. And then what would happen is that the testing team would set up the logistics to actually inform students that they need to get tested. Students then sign up for times, and then they get tested the next day. And this has actually occurred. So we've been successful in this several times. Our first instance of it was mid-September. So a few weeks into the semester, we saw a rise in one of the zones in the SARS-CoV-2 signal after having seen 0 signal whatsoever for the previous couple of weeks. That was an indication to us that we needed to be concerned, and we identified 5 cases during that week, and we were able to isolate those students, contact trace, and quarantine the students that were close contacts. The consequence of that is if you can do the contact tracing correctly, right, you can actually pull those people out of circulation so they can't spread the disease to others that would have caught it otherwise. Based on the success that we've had with the wastewater monitoring approach during the fall semester, this has allowed us to make the decision to continue this type of monitoring into the spring semester and potentially beyond. And the idea is to use this as a more prominent piece of the decision-making process for where to target available testing for individuals, because we've seen that it's worked. We know that it has allowed us to identify people that have COVID-19 that we would not have otherwise known about. This has to have had the consequence of reducing the number of cases overall that we've had on campus during the fall semester. And so we'd like to continue that process going forward.
Welcome back to DeVos Fieldhouse for the second half of tonight's action between Cornerstone and Hope. Taking a look at the first half, the story of half number 1 has to be the turnover battle. I mean, Cornerstone, 15 turnovers in the first half, while Hope had 4. Taking a look at Hope's steal stats, 10 steals for Hope and 1 for Cornerstone. First 12 to 13 minutes of that half were Hope leading the way here with great defense, and then Cornerstone really settled in last 8 or so minutes, led by Trent Summerfield, who is perfect from the field, 5 for 5 from the field, 3 for 3 from three-point range, and has 15 points, which is a game high at this point. These are 2 teams that have high hopes for the season. Cornerstone coming in at 8-2. And a team that's ranked top 25 in NAIA nationally, and Hope, a team that has less experience this year, only playing a couple games and just kind of getting their feet wet as we are only in November, long basketball season as we hope to conclude in March. Taking a look at some stats for Hope. Tanner Wiegerink led the way with 10 points in the first half, 3 boards for the sophomore from West Ottawa, and then Clayton Dykehouse, Ty George, and Evan Thomas, 8 points apiece. Pretty balanced scoring for that Hope backcourt. Dykehouse had a couple threes, George had a couple threes as well. Hope will start half number 2 with the ball. Look to start fast here. George cutting top of the key, looking for Bicus on the wing there. Good movement here from Hope so far, trying to just have a solid offensive possession. Ty George for 3, leans into one. Off the mark, in the far corner. Christian Rodriguez, who has been a focal point of this Hope defense. He's struggled to get going so far, only 4 points in half number 1 for Rodriguez, a guy that can instantly turn on the offense. And speaking of instant offense, there's Corey Ainsworth, the big man down low, with the first points of the second half for the Eagles. Dykehouse looking at an entry pass for Evan Thomas. Hope leads 35-31. Last time it was this close. It was 6-2 Hope. Going to be a back and forth second half. Dykehouse looking for Bicus. Another good offensive trip here for Hope, looking at a bunch of movement. Dykehouse on the floor, kicks it out to Wiegerink. Wiegerink working on Carter Knipe. Knipe going to get whistled with that foul. It's foul number 2 on Knipe, the senior who averages 15 points a game from Wayland, Michigan. Thomas inbounding to George here, going to run a little sideline out of bounds. George working middle of the court. Hits Dykehouse with a bounce pass on the baseline. Nice pass by Clayton Dykehouse to Tanner Wiegerink, and he's fired up smiling going back down the court. Wiegerink with probably the easiest 2 points that he'll see all day. That fires up the Hope bench. Hope's going to try to string together a couple defensive stops here, something they were able to do in the first half against a pretty high-powered Cornerstone offense. George chases down that loose ball. Kicks out to Dykehouse. Corner 3. Bang! Dykehouse. Third 3 of the ball game for Clayton. 11 points on the game, and that's a 9-point lead for Hope. Could be a big play that we look back on here in the next few minutes and point to. Another turnover for Cornerstone. George is going to head the other way. Kicks to Thomas. Thomas thought about the 3. One step in. Unable to connect there. Cornerstone going to run the break. 2-on-1. Nice move there by Struby. Johnny Struby, the senior guard, with a smooth finish. 7-point lead for Hope. This looks familiar, this fast pace that started the first half. Thomas swings to Dykehouse. Thomas, wow, a little jab step. Zero hesitation for Evan Thomas. He heads into double figures with 11. Ainsworth caught that fast break pass and then just didn't quite realize where he was. Ran out of real estate there on the baseline. Fired it up against the bottom of the rim. Thomas gonna operate here. Heads to Bicus. Trigger happy is this Hope team in the second half. Bicus with a quick 3. Unable to connect. 10-point lead for Hope. Cornerstone heads down the other way. Knickerbocker over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez, you have to think that he's gonna try to get going here offensively. Takes the step back 3 and rare miss for Rodriguez there, brought down by Ty George. Greg Mitchell wants a timeout. Hope's had a couple nice offensive trips here so far. A little bit trigger happy on the 3 over the last few, so probably thinking that Greg Mitchell wants to talk things over offensively here with his Hope squad. I would be remiss if I didn't give a couple of quick shout outs here. I know we got a bunch of people listening from all over here on this holiday weekend. Got to give a shout out to Todd Wingrove listening at home. Big Hope fan. I heard a rumor that he actually drove to Cornerstone tonight in search of this game, and sorry Todd, but this one is in Holland. Got to give a quick shout out to the Gruber family as well, listening at home in their living room, St. Charles, Illinois. Shout out to the Grubers. I hope you bought me something nice on Black Friday, maybe a pair of shoes or something. Got to give a shout out to my grandma and grandpa listening at home too. Always awesome to have some Friday and Saturday basketball on a holiday weekend here in West Michigan. This event is always a highlight for me personally, and I know for a lot of basketball fans here in West Michigan. Quite a bit of basketball talent in this side of the state. Always great high school teams, and then it's fun to see those high school players matriculate onto the college level and put their talents on display. Saw a great back and forth battle between Calvin and Aquinas before us here, and then we'll go right back at it tomorrow, 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. 6 p.m. game will be Cornerstone and Calvin, and then Hope will take on the Saints of Aquinas in game number 2. 16 and a half minutes here left in second half. 10-point lead for this Hope team. Been quite even over the last 14 minutes of the first half, and then first 4 minutes here of half number 2 after a strong start from Hope. Hope running a little bit of a lifting action there, trying to get Georgia look top of the key. Hedrick over to Thomas. Shot clock under 10 now. Dykehouse is going to work with it up top. Some quick dribbling from Dykehouse. Hedrick for 3 on the wing. In and out. That one was about 3/4 of the way down. And then controlled by Ainsworth. Rodriguez trying to slow the pace a little bit for this Eagles team. Devin Chaney in there for Hope now. Rodriguez with the left hand, and then Ainsworth finishes with the right. Dykehouse got caught under him. A little bit too much contact there from the junior. And Ainsworth is going to head to the stripe to try to complete the old school 3-point play. Spoke briefly earlier about Ainsworth and how in that fall, that casual fall league, he was able to really dominate these Hope bigs. Hope has to be thinking right now not to let him get really comfortable on that block. He's looked pretty comfortable over the last few minutes here. Rebound putbacks and just straight posts up for the junior out of Wayland. Speaking of comfortable, that's a comfortable 3 from Noah Hedrick. Wide open look, unable to connect. Struby over to Rodriguez. Ainsworth with a nice screen, then Rodriguez unable to hit. Dykehouse leading a semi-break here. Over to Chaney, over to Thomas. Thomas for 3, yes. Evan Thomas, the junior out of Okemos, 14 points. He is the straw that stirs the drink for Hope. Connects on the 3. Going to be a foul there on Devin Chaney. It's number 2 on Chaney. Chaney's been physical when he's been in there. Trying to give Corey Ainsworth a different look and a little bit more physicality is Devin Chaney, the sophomore. Ainsworth going to work on Chaney. That's going to be on the floor. What makes Ainsworth so tough is that he might be a little bit deceiving. You know, he's a lankier guy, stands at 6'8" or 6'9", but then when he gets on the block, he's really able to use his size and physicality to clear out some space. Devin Chaney, who saw a little varsity action last year, is trying to stand up to him best he can, but this is a high-level NAIA player in Corey Ainsworth. Christian Rodriguez stepped on the baseline there, and Rodriguez has been pestered all night by the likes of Dykehouse, Thomas, and others. George pops out, looking for Bicus down low, trying to work on Ainsworth. Ainsworth kicks, Dykehouse, 3-ball, yes. Dykehouse, his 3rd triple of the game. Out to Summerfield. And here goes Dykehouse the other way. Hedrick drives and kicks. Thomas down the lane with the left hand, unable to finish, hits the ground hard. Fouled hard there by, that's number 20, Jack Joldersma, the sophomore, laughing a little bit as he helps Evan Thomas up. Thomas, really, really athletic player, guy that you look at and you're not sure if he's able to leap off the floor, but he really can. Weekend tournament at Illinois Wesleyan last weekend had a couple nice dunks, did Evan Thomas. Connects on the first. Christian Rodriguez heading to the bench here, just visibly upset. Slams his hand on the scorer's table. He's had a tough night so far, but with a guy that's in his 5th year, so experienced, Hope has to keep an eye on him no matter how the game's going so far. Thomas connects on the second as well. Gives Hope a 15-point lead here. 14 minutes remaining at DeVos. Going to a 2-2-1 press. Dicey play there. Hope came out in a 2-2-1 press, and Ty George was able to tip it away and was shoved up high, shoulder, neck, face area. Hope bench was a little upset at that one. They'll call that a clean one. Nice tip away by George there. Dykehouse would have had an open lane. Foul's called, and Hope will go on the offensive end now. 15-point lead for the Flying Dutchman. Both these teams just battling defensively. Good basketball to watch here tonight. Dykehouse drives hard. Tries to go with the left, and that one skirts off the rim. Summerfield heading down on the offensive end, working on Noah Hedrick. Summerfield scoreless here in the second half, had 15 points in the first. Yeah, he's able to get his space really well. I mean, Hedrick kind of puts his shoulder down, puts his head down, and then gets to the block there on Noah Hedrick. Noah Hedrick picks up his second foul. Summerfield on the wing. Yeah, that's a quick trigger. That one's going to be good. Summerfield, the guy they have to get a hand up on. Points per game wise this year, Summerfield hasn't been anything crazy, 6.5 points per game, but he has a nice shooting stroke. Thomas, fadeaway. In and out. Nice battle there by Bicus. Here comes Cornerstone. Rowlandson kicks out. Summerfield now top the key. And Ainsworth clearing some space there down low. They'll get Bicus on a grab. Ainsworth trying to really establish himself here in the second half. Both these teams racking up fouls in the early going. 5 fouls on Hope and 3 on Cornerstone. Something to keep an eye on. Joldersma, guarded by Thomas, down to Ainsworth. That one was pretty easy there by Corey Ainsworth. Just went right over his left shoulder with the right hand. 10-point ball game. Thomas swings over to Josh Lilja. Ty George coming off a screen on the wing. Up top to Dykehouse. Dykehouse to Thomas. And now Wiegering's going to go to work on Corey Ainsworth. Wiegerink with the right hand, unable to finish. Here comes Trent Summerfield. Summerfield's been comfortable in half number 2. He'll fire again. Too much space for Trent Summerfield. That one, luckily for the Hope College Flying Dutchman, is off, but Summerfield's been able to get some good offensive looks here. You get the sense that the next 3 to 4 minutes are going to be pretty pivotal for both of these clubs as Hope tries to control Ainsworth and Trent Summerfield. Ainsworth heads to the bench for a quick breather. I doubt he'll be out long. Hope's got to try to get some good offensive movement here. Early in the season, they were going for more of a Loyola Chicago type offense with a bunch of handoffs, things like that. Lately, they've moved to more of a motion look. Ty George, top of the key. Unable to get any space, kicks it out to Dykehouse. Dykehouse, top of the key, 3-ball, yes. Clayton Dykehouse, you betcha. 17 points for the junior from Zeeland. How about this junior duo of Dykehouse and Thomas, 17 and 16 apiece. Drive and dish there for the corner 3, corralled by George. George is going to lead the break now. They're going to reset, try to get a good look. Thomas on the wing. Thomas facing up over to Ty George. Over to Dykehouse. Ooh, he has the hot hand. What a pass. And Thomas goes up and brings it down hard on his head. That electrifies the Hope College crowd. 2 feet, 2 hands. Evan Thomas raised the roof. 18 points for Thomas. Talk about an energizing play there. 15-point lead for this Hope team. And George with the steal. Here comes Thomas. Thomas to George. And he drives hard with the contact there. Connor Dykema. Just get the sense this might be a little bit of a tipping point here in this game. 15-point lead. Ty George has the line. And boy, oh boy, do I wish we had our 3-camera setup tonight. Evan Thomas went hard with 2 hands right on the Cornerstone defender. Ty at the line, shooting 100% on the year from the free throw line. That's first in the MIAA is Ty George. And if anyone ever asks you, is Division III, is NAIA high-level basketball, show them that clip of Evan Thomas. This is a 6'5" guard from Okemos who was first team All-State in high school, went up hard with 2 hands, and brought down the house with that slam. Here comes Cornerstone. They're going to try to stop the bleeding. What better way to do it than get in the hands of Trent Summerfield? Dykehouse riding him hard. Dykehouse with the poke away. Up ahead to Ty George. He had a shot blocked. Hope asking hard for a goaltend. Might have missed that one. Marginal call. Regardless of the call, great defensive trip there for Hope. Able to get out on the break. That one, a nice block there by Connor Dykema out of South Christian. Here comes Knickerbocker to Thomas. Thomas threw it over the head of Ty George. Hope has been able to string together a few nice defensive trips here. We haven't seen Christian Rodriguez or Corey Ainsworth in a few minutes here. Hope's going to go back to that 2-2-1 press. They like to go to this to kind of milk the shot clock. Kind of situation where Hope needs to keep their foot on the gas. Josh Lilja guarding Knickerbocker. Wiegering takes over. Knickerbocker, nifty move there on the baseline. Drew Knickerbocker had a nice first half. He's at 6 points now, his first points of the second half. Ty George catching on the wing. Over to Dykehouse. Lilja got a hit there, setting the screen. Dykehouse over to Wiegerink. Nice feed inside by Dykehouse to Wiegerink, and he is unable to finish. He tried to go with the left hand there over Connor Dykema. Loose on the floor. Gonna have a fight for it. Cornerstone had the possession. Heads up play there by the senior Carter Knipe to call timeout. And Dykehouse needs to get peeled off the floor. See this Hope team coming to greet Evan Thomas, congratulating him on that big time dunk and just providing some energy. Hope up 15 here under the 10-minute mark in this defensive struggle between these two squads. We'll take a quick break. We'll head to commercial and we'll be right back. We're back here from the 30-second timeout. Hey, 2 stats that really jump off the page to me here. Turnovers have to be the first. 21 turnovers for this Cornerstone squad. to only 5 for Hope. Then you got to look at free throws. Hope 12 for 16 from the line, where Cornerstone's only been able to get to the line 5 times. This Hope team has been physical, active, and involved here so far tonight. Rodriguez with his easiest bucket of tonight. 6 points for the 5th-year point guard. Drove right down the lane. Noah Hedrick catches on the wing. One dribble pull-up 3-ball there from Noah Hedrick. Unable to find the bottom of the net. Drew Knickerbocker working on Evan Thomas. Gonna call a foul there on the floor, a little bump on Evan Thomas there. That'll be 2 fouls on Evan Thomas. Talking a little bit more about Thomas, who had that big-time dunk just a couple of minutes ago. High school got to watch Evan play a few times, including a regional matchup against East Kentwood. Thomas, the type of player who probably could have pushed for Division II or Division I basketball, and he found his home right here at Hope College. Athletic 6'4" guard who can really shoot it. Dykehouse over to Bicus, and then they're going to let Thomas operate. Speaking of shooting it, there's a 3-ball. Evan Thomas absolutely feeling it tonight. 21 points for the junior. Johnny on the spot, 16-point lead for this Hope team. Thomas doing a good job of sliding his feet there on Drew Knickerbocker. Clay badgering Christian Rodriguez off the ball. And then Thomas with a little deflection and a tip away. I just get the sense that this Cornerstone team has struggled to find their offensive flow tonight. This is a team who is 8-2, has been feeling good over the last few weeks, and this Hope team, with their physicality, has kind of gotten them out of their rhythm. Still a ton of basketball to be played, 8 minutes and 40 seconds or so. 16-point lead is never safe with a team like Cornerstone with Ainsworth and Rodriguez, Knipe, and others. Lilja with a block there on Rodriguez, and he's able to save it. Saves it to Evan Thomas. Thomas leads the break. Over to Noah Hedrick. Noah with the step-in 3. Can't connect. A couple quick shots here by Hope. 8 minutes left. Ty George with a steal. Yeah, Greg Mitchell's going to get a timeout. I'm not sure he loved the last 3 or 4 offensive possessions from Hope. A few quick shots. With 8 minutes left and a 16-point lead against a powerhouse team like Cornerstone, probably looking to milk that clock a tiny bit more as Greg Mitchell for his squad. We're going to take a full timeout here. We'll head to another commercial. You're watching Hope College basketball. Hope up 16 with about 8 minutes left. Here at beautiful DeVos Fieldhouse. 8 minutes and 12 seconds left in this matchup between two West Michigan small college basketball powers, Hope and Cornerstone. 61 Hope, 45 Cornerstone at the moment. Taking a look at this all-time historic matchup. Hope is 20-17 all-time against Cornerstone. Pretty even here through the 2000s as both of these programs have had national prominence. Taking a look at Hope's future schedule, Hope will have Aquinas tomorrow night at 8 p.m. here at DeVos, and then we'll take on St. Thomas in St. Louis next weekend. So the Flying Dutchman will be Road Warriors here coming up with a nice road trip to St. Louis, Missouri next weekend. Hope trying to get a nice long offensive trip here. Got to believe that's what Greg Mitchell was talking about in that last timeout. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. We got Evan Thomas working up top against Drew Knickerbocker. That one is off, the pull-up from 20 feet. Thomas and Knickerbocker exchanging some words heading down. These are two teams that are pretty familiar with one another. Guys that played against each other in high school, playing summer leagues together, things like that. Bike goes with a nice block from behind on Corey Ainsworth. 7.5 minutes left here. Cornerstone, again, they average 82 points per game on the season. Sitting at only 45. You got to credit this Hope defense. Rodriguez coming off that curl screen on the far wing. He hits Carter Knipe. Knipe goes in for the finish. He's hit on the arm by Noah Hedrick. That'll be 3 on Hedrick.
That's a 7 right there, right?
Carter Knipe, another one of those players that is just a matchup problem for Cornerstone. You got Corey Ainsworth, who can play a little bit of inside, a little bit of outside, and then Carter Knipe, kind of that prototypical positionless player. Been watching any NBA or college basketball here over the last 5 to 10 years. You'll notice that basketball has become much more positionless, where the three-point shot is kind of pivotal to most basketball strategy, and you get big men, 6'7", 6'8", 7-footers that can step out and shoot the three ball. 14-point lead for Hope, 7.5 minutes remaining. Ty George with a curl cut there. Thomas out to Noah Hedrick, and there's 10 seconds left on the shot clock. They're looking to slow this thing down a little bit. Ty George went down the lane, unable to connect. Rodriguez out to Knickerbocker, wide open 3 for Drew Knickerbocker, and he knocks it down. Cuts the lead to 11. Knickerbocker is a nice player for this Cornerstone team, averages 7.5 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, does a little bit of everything for the Eagles. Bicus working on Ainsworth. Bicus has it momentarily knocked away. He fires from 15 feet and is unable to connect. Cornerstone on the run. Kicks it out. Knickerbocker once again for 3. Yes. And that'll prompt a timeout from head coach Greg Mitchell. Cornerstone cuts it to 8. A couple of Drew Knickerbocker 3 balls. He has 12 on the game. And this game is an 8-point-1 with 6.5 minutes remaining. We'll keep it right here for this timeout. Taking a look at more of our stats from this one. Some team stats. Cornerstone 6 for 20 from the 3 tonight, whereas Hope is 11 for 26 at a 42% clip. That'll get the job done. Turnovers once again a story. 22 for Cornerstone and 5 for Hope. Rebounding battle's an interesting one. Cornerstone out rebounding Hope by 15. Definitely have the size advantage there. And then getting on to the individual stats, you got to start with Evan Thomas. 21 points tonight, 3 for 4 from the long line, 4 for 4 from the free throw line, adds in 6 rebounds. Thomas is the kind of guy that can get you a double-double on a night-in, night-out basis, and he's nearing that mark as we speak. Clayton Dykehouse has pitched in 17. 5 for 6 from the 3 is Clayton Dykehouse, feeling comfortable from that long line. And then Tanner Wiegerink and Ty George with 12 and 10 apiece. For Cornerstone, it's been Trent Summerfield, the junior, who averages 6.5 a game. He's having a career night tonight here in DeVos Fieldhouse. The sharpshooter from Forest Hills Northern with 18. Drew Knickerbocker has caught fire here as of late, 12 points for him. And then Corey Ainsworth, kind of the centerpiece of this Cornerstone offense. He has 11. Christian Rodriguez, 3 for 11 from the field with 6 points. Kind of guy that could undoubtedly knock in some big shots here over the last 6 minutes or so. So Hope needs to stay connected to him. It's been an entertaining back and forth game. Some great scoring, some great individual performances, and then some great team performances as well, most notably Hope's defense up until this point. Dykehouse will work on Christian Rodriguez here. Able to probe into the paint, flips it up and knocks it off the square there. 19 points for Clayton Dykehouse. It's a good start out of that timeout for Coach Greg Mitchell and the Hope Flying Dutchman. Carter Knipe working on Tanner Wiegerink. Nice left hand there for Carter Knipe. Carter Knipe, guy that stands at 6'8", that's a tough shot to contest. Dykehouse swings it over. Tanner Wiegerink. Thomas over to George, top the key. There's Bicus on the left wing. Gonna try to milk the shot clock as this Hope team. 8 seconds remaining. Thomas gonna try to go a little bit of one-on-one. No call there. Carter Knipe with the breakaway. He'll slam this one for 2. Thomas appears to be a little bit shaken up. We'll see if we get a timeout here for an injury. Yeah, it looks like they will. Thomas looking like he's tending to that eye over there. Got poked in the right eye. Cornerstone switched that ball screen, and Thomas, a little bit of contact. Ends up being a turnover. Looks like Thomas will stay out there. He's going to rub some dirt on it. 5 minutes or so remaining. 6-point lead for this Hope team. 10-2 run for Cornerstone. Dykehouse out to Vikas. That's a big one for Jeff Vikas. That's just what the doctor ordered if you're a Hope fan. 9-point lead now for Hope. Cornerstone going to return the favor. Heading the other way, Carter Knight. He said, you hit one, I'll raise you. 6-point lead for Hope. We're back and forth right now. 5 minutes remaining. Dykehouse operating. Heading to Thomas. Thomas going to swing to George here. Little less than 5 minutes remaining here at DeVos. Dykehouse, who's felt comfortable offensively. Vikas went for the three, and Knipe's probably going to surprising finish there. I thought Knipe was going to hammer that one home. Good job by Vikas to hustle back and contest the shot. Knipe is unable to finish that one. Cornerstone with a 6-point deficit here. 4.5 minutes remaining. Few big defensive trips coming up for Hope. Ainsworth working in the corner on Vikas. This is the guy they want to get going. Ainsworth easy with the right hand, working on Jeff Vikas there. He was able to get to the block. Hope's going to try to get a solid offensive possession here. Thomas attempt to get into the lane. He hits the deck hard. They're going to call that one on Ainsworth. That is number 4 on him. We'll see if he stays in the court. We'll see if head coach Kim Elders gives him a breather with 4 fouls. Looks like Cornerstone will sub here. Trent Summerfield heading in for Corey Ainsworth. Hard to believe that Ainsworth will sit for more than a minute or two. Looking at the matchups, Jeff Vikas will have Trent Summerfield guarding him. Potential advantage for Hope as Vikas has a few inches on him. Gonna get a whistle here underneath. Knickerbocker grabbing Evan Thomas as he was trying to cut into the lane. Thomas will head to the line because Hope is now in the bonus. Thomas has 21 points tonight. Excellent night for him. He shoots 87% from the line on the year. That one's off. Rare miss for Evan Thomas. A little more than 4 minutes remaining here. Rodriguez, who's been quiet tonight, swings over to Knickerbocker. Knickerbocker, excellent little stop and pop. Drew Knickerbocker. He hits from 16 feet, and now it's a 2-point ball game. Thomas working, looking for Dykehouse. He finds him. Dykehouse top of the key. Volume in the DeVos has slowly raised. Dykehouse, step back 3. Vikas with a big rebound. Hope resets. Thomas, one-on-one with Knickerbocker on the wing. Thomas unable to get the shot off. Kicks to Wegerink. Wegerink for 3, and he hits! Tanner Wegerink holding 3 fingers as he goes back, but Hope has to get back because Carter Knipe is camped out underneath. That's a defensive lapse for Hope. A little bit of celebration for Hope, and then Knipe catches him sleeping. Big offensive trip here for Hope. Vikas over to Thomas. Ample time on the shot clock. Wegerink over to Vikas. Hope needs to settle things down here. Vikas over to Dykehouse. 5 seconds left. 4, 3. I'm not sure if he realizes that's a deep one. Unable to be brought down by Hope. Cornerstone ball. Less than 3 minutes remaining here, and the tension is high in DeVos Fieldhouse. Cornerstone trails by 3. Kim Elders is going to get a timeout. Has to be feeling good about the way his Cornerstone team's playing. That'll be a full timeout. 2 minutes, 42 seconds remaining. Hope up 69-66 here in Game 1 of the Grand Rapids Sports Basketball Classic. We'll take a quick break and be right back.
When you're more than a manager, you're not just saying, "Well, you came in, thanks for coming in, and you know, this is what your investment did." It's so much more than that. There's so much more going on in their lives than just these investments, and it's good to understand that totality so that you can say, well, you know, I know there's a better way of doing this, or I have a resource. I know, you know, there's some other resources that we can help you with here. So it's not just financial planning. It's serving people. It's serving people and loving on people, and that's very joyful.
We're back here at DeVos Fieldhouse. Let us paint a quick picture for you. Last time the game was this close, it was 3-0 Hope. Cornerstone as close as they've been in about 38 minutes in this one. Hope leading by 3. The story of this one for Cornerstone has been guys that have exceeded their season averages. Trent Summerfield, who comes in averaging about 6 points a game with 18, and then Drew Knickerbocker, who just hit back-to-back threes a few minutes ago. He averages 7 points per game, and he is currently sitting at 14. Cornerstone going to have the offensive possession here. Hope running out a smaller lineup. Dykehouse, George, Hedrick, Bicus, and Thomas. Needless to say, a few pivotal defensive possessions for Hope. Cornerstone's going to try to get a good look. You got to think they have a little bit of a set called up here, maybe for Corey Ainsworth. Ainsworth operating at 19 feet. Knickerbocker off the screen. Almost pulled the trigger there on the 3. Carter Knipe with a fall away 3 ball, catches nothing but air. That one falls harmlessly out of bounds. 2 minutes, 25 seconds left. Hope has it, up 3. See what head coach Greg Mitchell has drawn up for this possession coming out of the timeout. Gonna post up there for Evan Thomas. Good job by Knickerbocker to fend him off. Thomas on Knickerbocker on the wing. 15 seconds remaining. George runs off him. 10 seconds. 2 minutes left in this one. Thomas reach in there on Drew Knickerbocker about 40 feet away from the bucket. He's upset at that one. Thomas doing a good job of staying under control. He'll head to the line. Thomas missed his last one. Usually a pretty on-the-money free throw shooter is the junior Evan Thomas. We'll have a 1-and-1 here for Thomas. 2:01 remaining. That one is pure for Thomas.
38-17 halftime.
Thomas, a guy who is going to need to shoulder the load here for Hope in a bunch of their games here coming up. Guy who can handle the ball and go down low. That one is off for Thomas. 22 points on the night for him as we tick under 2 minutes. Dykehouse and Rodriguez, awesome point guard matchup here at the top of the key. Knickerbocker to Knipe. Looks like they're going to try to go for Ainsworth underneath. Rodriguez, blocked by Tanner Wiegerink. Big time defensive play from the sophomore as Rodriguez tried to get that one up on the glass. Evan Thomas imploring Clayton Dykehouse to take it easy, man. Dykehouse pounding it. Knickerbocker pressuring Thomas. We got 10 seconds left here. Looks like we're going to run a little high ball screen with Clayton Dykehouse and Evan Thomas. Thomas with Rodriguez on him. Stops. Unable to get the shot away. And that'll be a shot clock violation. Interesting play there as Thomas hit the jump stop and the turnaround. Thought that he was fouled. Air ball. Hope was able to get it back and then unable to convert as the shot clock expired. Taking down towards 1 minute here. Hope up 4. Rodriguez, most open look he's gotten all night. And that one's back iron. Evan Thomas skies for the board. Clayton Dykehouse with it now. 55 seconds remaining. Got to think about fouling here semi-soon if you're Cornerstone. We'll see if they play it out with 20 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Clayton wisely dribbles shot clock out. Probably go with a high ball screen here with Bicus here towards the end of the shot clock. That's what they do. 5 seconds remaining. Dykhouse finds himself way out and just fires that one. Yeah, might have been trying to draw a foul there, but Hope just a little bit late getting into their offensive set. 30 seconds remaining here. Hope up 4. Rodriguez with the ball. Rodriguez head of steam, tipped by Bicus. And another Hope steal. Dykhouse drew the foul there. Hope bench fired up. The junior point guard is going to head to the line, up 4 with 20 seconds remaining. 1-1 here for Clayton. Guys had a big time impact on this game. 19 points for Dykhouse, 5 rebounds and 3 assists. Pretty well-rounded performance from the junior out of Zeeland East. Knocks it in. Big free throw here coming. Would make it a 2-possession game to tie. Dykhouse calmly steps up there, knocks it in. The Zeeland East product, couple big free throws. Knickerbocker. Rodriguez with a deep 3. That one's all air. Thomas with the rebound, and he gets fouled. And this DeVos Fieldhouse comes alive as they start to realize what's going down here. That'll be 5 on Corey Ainsworth, the Cornerstone big man. He'll exit here. He had a fine ball game, 13 points for Corey Ainsworth and 13 rebounds. How about that? A double-double for the Cornerstone big man. 6 for 7 from the field was Corey Ainsworth, so he gets a well-deserved round of applause. Evan Thomas, junior, steps to the line. First one good for E.T. How about this performance from Evan Thomas? 23 points for the junior. Hope is going to snap their 5-game losing streak to Cornerstone in what is a huge, huge early season win for this Hope team. Rodriguez knocks in the 3, but Hope's going to dribble this one out as Ty George dribbles across the half-court line. 5-game losing streak snapped in this Hope team with a convincing win, 74-69 for the Hope College Flying Dutchman. They take down Cornerstone in their first game of the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Classic, a game that Greg Mitchell and his Hope coaching staff can point to as Hope, reaching their potential on the defensive end. Hope led by Evan Thomas, who finished with 24 points. Just a big-time performance by the junior, highlighted by that highlight reel dunk. Clayton Dykhouse with 21, Tanner Wiegerink with 15, and just some huge plays. Cornerstone led by Trent Summerfield, who had a career night, 18 points. This Hope team will take that one, move into tomorrow. Aquinas will play Hope at 8 p.m. 6 p.m. will be Cornerstone and Calvin. Thanks for tuning in with us tonight. Hope everyone's having a great Thanksgiving Day weekend, and we hope you will join us again soon. Once again, the final, Hope 74, Cornerstone 69. Good night, and go Hope.